Maar om Irak binnen te vallen, wat natuurlijk de vader van George Bush geprobeerd heeft of gedaan heeft in de begin jaren 90.
Operation Desert Storm.
Ja, daar hadden ze natuurlijk een excuus voor nodig. Want wat ging Saddam Hussein? Die dreigde dat hij olie heel goedkoop op de markt ging gooien en in euro's ging verhandelen. Was net...
nee, niet de euro.
Nee, sorry, niet de euro's. Maar dat hij goedkoop olie op de markt ging gooien. Dat was de eerste keer.
Iraq's army is defeated. Our military objectives are met. I am pleased to announce that at midnight tonight, Eastern Standard Time, exactly 100 hours since ground operations commenced and 6 weeks since the start of Operation Desert Storm, all United States and coalition forces will suspend offensive combat operations.
What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order.
And this is the best chance begin to establish the new world order.
I think even that does not describe why the world has changed so much and why the world has turned so much toward a new world order and a new kind of civilization.
En toen hebben ze onder het mom van hij heeft kinderen in couveuses laten sterven door de stroom eraf te halen, zijn ze binnengevallen.
August 2nd, 1990. Iraq attacks Kuwait, claiming the Kuwaitis are slant drilling into Iraq's oil fields. U.S. President George Herbert Walker Bush pushes for a land war against Iraq. But polls show the U.S. public is split 50-50 on that idea. Then comes this eyewitness testimony before a congressional committee from a 15-year-old Kuwaiti girl. The claim is she cannot be identified for fear of reprisals.
While I was there, I saw the Iraqi soldiers come into the hospital with guns. They took the babies out of the incubators. Took the incubators and left the children to die on the cold floor.
The U.S. public is outraged. The result? Support for land war zooms. It's a turning point. Desert Storm is launched. 135,000 Iraqis are killed. An estimated 1 million Iraqis, many of them children and old people, then die as a result of 10 years of sanctions. One small problem. There never were any incubator baby deaths, not one. The Canadian Broadcasting Corporation's investigative flagship program, The Fifth Estate, reveals the girl to be the Kuwaiti ambassador's daughter, given her lines and coached in acting by the giant American PR firm Hill & Knowlton. It's one phase in a $10 million joint U.S.-Kuwaiti campaign of deception. This man is lying.
I myself buried 14 newborn babies that had been taken from their incubators.
This man is lying.
And they had kids in incubators, and they were thrown out of the incubators so that Kuwait could be systematically dismantled.
There were a lot of people who participated in a conspiracy. Yes, an out-and-out conspiracy of fake organizations, false documents, fraud, and disinformation. So, if a new man named Bush is in the White House and helps engineer a brazen deception in order to achieve global geopolitical goals, as well as domestic and personal ones, it wouldn't be a first, would it?
Nou, dat is niet helemaal gelukt de eerste keer. Dus dat moest nog een keer. Daar moest papa Bush 8 jaar wachten. En het zou gaan gebeuren. Op geen enkele manier zou hij dat laten mislukken. Waardoor ze zelfs de verkiezingen natuurlijk hebben gekocht. Via de Hoge Raad in Amerika, de Supreme Court. Die heeft uiteindelijk beslist dat George Bush president zou worden.
Ten koste toen van Al Gore, was dat?
Van Al Gore, ja.
So many people come up to me after I've given a talk or whatever, and particularly younger, like law students or college students, And they'll say, I just always thought the Supreme Court was just so above politics. And I always had so much faith in the court until this decision, Bush versus Gore.
Nou, vervolgens moesten ze natuurlijk iets hebben om Irak op een kop te slaan. En daar is dus wat ze een false flag operation noemen. Daar is 11 september op bedacht. En als je kijkt naar die plannen die ze jaren daarvoor hadden gemaakt. Er stond letterlijk in die plannen, we hebben een soort Pearl Harbor event nodig. Om een nieuwe oorlog aan te wakkeren. En we maken het een eindeloze oorlog. Namelijk een oorlog zonder echte vijand. De oorlog tegen het terrorisme.
I met Rockefeller through a female attorney I knew, who called me up one day and said, one of the Rockefellers would like to meet you. I had made a video called Mad as Hell, and he'd seen the video and wanted to meet me, and knew I was running for governor of Nevada. So sure, I'd love to meet him. And I met him, and I liked him, and he was a very, very smart man, and we used to talk and share ideas and thoughts, and he's the one who told me 11 months before 9/11 ever happened that there was going to be an event. Never told me what the event was going to be, but there was going to be an event, and out of that event, we were going to invade Afghanistan to run pipelines from the Caspian Sea. We were going to invade Iraq, to take over the oil fields, establish a base in the Middle East, and make it all part of the New World Order. And we'd go after Chavez in Venezuela. And sure enough, later 9/11 happened, and I remember he was telling me how you're gonna see soldiers looking in caves for people in Afghanistan and Pakistan and all these places, and there's gonna be this war on terror, which is no real enemy, and the whole thing is a giant hoax, but it's a way for the government to take over the American people.
He told you it was going to be a hoax.
Oh yeah. There's no question. He says, there's going to be war on terror. And he's just laughing. There's no... Who are we fighting? I mean, why do you think 9/11 happened and then nothing's happened since then? Do you think that our security is so great here that these people who pulled off 9/11, who were able to, can't knock down another plane? Come on, it's ridiculous. 9/11 was done by people in our own government and our own banking system to perpetuate the fear of the American people into subordinating themselves to anything the government wants them to do. That's what it's about, and to create this endless war on terror. And that's why and that was the first lie. And the next lie was going into Iraq, to get Saddam Hussein out with his weapons of mass destruction. That was the next lie.
Now, specifically, this was a little over 6 years ago?
This was
11 months before 9/11.
Yeah.
And Nick Rockefeller, who's a lawyer, he's become your friend over the previous years, and he's saying to you that there's going to be this big event, and then out of that we're going to have a war on terror, and it's just going to go on and on.
Right. An endless war on terror without any real enemy. That you can never define a winner.
And did he say that it's going to be perfect because you can't define an enemy? It just goes on and on?
Yeah, because you can't define a winner. There's no one to beat, so it goes on and on forever. And they can do whatever they want. They scare the hell out of the American public. Look, this whole war on terror is a fraud. It's a farce. It's very difficult to say it out loud because people are intimidated against saying it. Because if you say it, they want to make you into a nutcase. But the truth has to come out. That's why I'm doing this interview. The fact of the matter happens to be that the whole war on terror is a fraud.
Maar wacht even. Waar stond dat te lezen dan, wat je nu vertelt? Want je zegt, dat stond erin.
Oh ja, je kan de documenten gewoon... ik zal ze even opzoeken voor je. Dat kan je overal op het internet vinden. Van de Project Plan for a New America of zo heet dat. En je ziet ook die handtekeningen van die gasten die nu in het Witte Huis zitten. Het is altijd hun plan geweest.
Okay.
Dus het plan was dan om een event te hebben waardoor we een nieuw soort vijand hebben. Een onzichtbare vijand waarmee dus alle vrijheden van de mens afgenomen kunnen worden onder het mom van... voor jouw security.
Ja.
Want ja, natuurlijk, de terroristen zijn het niet de pedofielen, dan zijn het wel de terroristen.
Voor jouw security en onze portemonnee.